Hi everybody, I'm here with Bruce Smith, who's come on a flying visit down south,
South.
out of your comfort zone here, Bruce.
Yeah, I've got a nosebleed.
Now this is perfect timing because at the weekend, Bruce did a brand new race called the Eliminator. Now, I've tried to understand it, and I'm sure Bruce, maybe even having done it, you might still not understand the race, but amazing, amazing. Brought together by Cassie Paxton and Greg Wingo from
Yeah,
Last Paddle Standing,
yeah.
and you've done that event. We'll talk about that later. Can you try and explain how the Eliminator worked, Bruce?
It's quite simple, really. We had a loop, which was probably just under 2.5K, that was done as a team relay race. So there was like you and your partner. There was different categories: male, 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 female, and mixed. And it was a 12-hour race where we went one loop in 28 minutes. Then you had a 2-minute changeover, and then you went, and you just went like that for 13 laps in nice calm conditions. Not. And then after the 13th lap, that's where the challenge of the elimination came in. So those that were left in, every lap, the last person back got eliminated until we went round to the 24th lap, where it was a race between two teams that
Two
were
teams.
left.
Let's not jump forward. So this race is part of like a backyard ultra, they call it,
Yeah,
isn't
the
it? Where
backyard
the
ultra
poor
type
people
race.
at the end just get dropped,
Yeah,
and it's really the
yeah,
last paddler standing, like the race
yeah.
in Florida, which has been invented by Greg, and it's just the most addictive race to watch. Anyway, but it lots of teams entered, so teams of two,
Teams of two.
and one has to go on the hour, and the other has to go on the half hour. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah. We started at 8:30, so one person there, so it was like 8:30, 9, 9:30, all the way through. Yeah,
Yeah, and the weather was not helpful, was it? I mean, it was
it,
shocking.
it was it was
It was the wind.
it was character building. It was the first lap. I did the first lap, and it wasn't that windy, but it was quite choppy, which was a bit concerning. Uh, and then after that, it felt like every lap just got windier and choppier and windier and choppier, just relentless
Yep.
all day.
And I think there was something like 17 teams who'd
17
entered,
teams started.
and I caught up with the coverage. Betsy from SUPracer was doing some little live
Yeah, yeah,
stories, and I was catching up. And within a few hours, there were it almost felt like half the field were decimated. They'd gone.
yeah,
It wasn't that many, but that's how it felt. They were literally dropping like flies. They could not cope with the conditions, could they? And they were not making that cut off.
yeah. I think there was one lap in particular. I wasn't on the water then, and watched everybody go off. But then I think it was my lap. There was only like 7 teams left, and it was like, where's everyone gone? But I do remember watching the safety boat was quite active.
So the safety boat was rescuing
Yeah,
people.
it was the far side of the lake from the beach. I think we've all seen it before, where you're looking at the beach and it looks like glorious, but you could see the waves just howling down,
Yeah,
and it just the far side was pretty crazy.
was mental.
So massive respect to anybody that got out there. Like,
Yeah, and those people chose to do that event because they
yeah,
felt that they could do it.
yeah,
And we know especially in this country, the weather can be shocking and it can just be unpredictable. And if that's the weather on the day, that's what you have to go out and do.
yeah,
And if you could only do 1 or 2 laps, then fair play for
yeah, yeah,
getting out there and doing
definitely,
that. It's such a learning experience, isn't it?
absolutely, absolutely. But that's what it's about, isn't it? Just getting out there and doing it and overcoming the best you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So your partner in crime was Mark Salter.
Mark Salter, yeah.
So you have historically raced against Mark.
We've had many battles over the years.
You've had some really good
Yeah,
battles. You're quite, I guess, quite well placed together.
yeah. Over the shorter distances, I think I've tended to come on top of him. Over the longer ones, he's took more than me, but we've always been pretty close. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
and how was it suddenly racing with him? I mean, I mean, you are a good partnership because you won the event, but you must have felt pretty confident that you were two of the strongest like endurance paddlers in the country.
it, well, I hate it when people
Take
say
it, take it.
when you're the favourite. It adds extra pressure, but it was good partnering with Mark. I've known him for years. I get on really well with him, and we worked well together constantly. As he came back, he would tell me what the conditions are doing, because every lap was changing all the time.
Yeah.
Different lines that you might want to think about taking. So we worked well as a team at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've gone a certain, way down the line. You've gone into a certain amount of hours, and you've seen people drop off, and then for the last few laps, there were basically two teams in it, weren't there? There was you and Mark, and then Joe Hamilton Vale and Andrew Guthrie.
Yeah.
And it was basically a battle between you. And we know that the other team are pretty hardcore as well, pretty strong.
Yeah,
so
they were both strong.
Talk us through those last few laps with those guys.
It was a bit unique in the fact that they had the lottery. So anybody that had been eliminated up till lap 18, I think on lap 18 there was a lottery drawn. So there was one team from each category that were brought back into the race. Don't think it mattered when you were eliminated, just everybody that had been got drawn. So on lap 19, I think it was, there was quite a few of us again. Yeah. And then the race started again to eliminate. And that put a bit of pressure on, because there's an argument they were fresh, we were not fresh, so how are you going to cope? And that definitely added a different dynamic to the race.
Yeah. And your last lap, did you make any sort of tactical choices with Mark?
So the last lap, yeah, so you had the wild card option. Each team was given 2 wild cards that enabled you to swap the order.
So when you started, you had to stick in the order that you were in.
At the start, you had to tell them who was paddling first, and you had to stay in that order throughout the race unless you handed one of the wild cards in. So Mark was tiring but strong, and I was excited, man. I just wanted to keep on paddling. So I just said to Mark, I says, if you want me to do the last lap, because he would have been due to do the last lap, says I'm happy to do the last lap. So I did the last 2 laps.
Yeah, you were the more excited of the two of you to do that.
I just didn't want it to stop paddling, man.
No, bless you. You're crazy. We love it. What did you think of the whole event?
Do you know, I love it. Absolutely love it, because you've got the competitive element of racing, which we all love. But when you're off the water, you bring in like the social aspect. So like we had a great support crew, but everybody's helping everybody, and you get in the chat and mix instead of in a point-to-point race. You just start, head down, finish.
Yeah.
And here you've got like, it's just so different, because you get to watch everybody on the water as well.
Yeah.
So you're off the water, you've done your lap, and you get to see other people race.
Yeah.
And it's just makes it different, like in a good way.
Yeah, and you had Mr. Greg Wingo over, flew in and flew out pretty quickly. Dr. Evil, I think, is a great name. He does like to bring up some pretty hardcore challenges for paddlers, not only physically but mentally as well. So you won a lovely watch.
A lovely watch, yeah.
But you also won an entry to Last Paddler Standing.
I won an entry to go back to Last Paddler Standing.
Yeah, now you've done that race before, and we have watched you do that race. You were in the last...
group of, there was 4 of us.
Yeah, 4 of you.
So me and John came joint third, I think.
Amazing. We would love to see you back there. We really hope that you can make that happen.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And this year you've just not raced much, have you?
No. So I think probably I did race at the castle with Simon, who was part of my support crew for this weekend, and we did the race at the castle with him. I love that, but we did it as a leisure fleet, so it was different to racing.
Yeah.
Take that aside, I think I paddled more on Saturday than I've done for the rest of the year.
And you said you were using it almost like you were paddling really hard. I saw some footage of you, and you were absolutely flying in those conditions. But you were treating it like almost like a training paddle, weren't you?
So yeah, I mean, I was nervous at the start because I hadn't really paddled in anger for so long. And the first lap was good. It was a nice warm up. But yeah, every lap I just fell more and more in love with the race. And I was thinking, if I'm going to go back to Last Paddler Standing, this is the perfect opportunity to paddle hard for 12 hours.
Absolutely. And
So
how did your body cope the next day? Did you recover well?
I would fair to say I was a bit tired and achy. Yeah, I did feel like I'd been run over by a bus. But overall, I wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a good, I mean, Cassie always runs a good, you know, she's run some really interesting races, and she's
Yeah.
always got her little brain ticking over there with some interesting ways. I love the bit of wood and the axes, you know,
Oh,
that
it's
you had
cool,
to,
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
very cool.
Just, yeah.
Did she have a cowbells?
There was cowbells there.
Of course. It's
Yeah.
Cassie, isn't it?
Yeah. Megaphone. I didn't hear too much of the megaphone,
Your J
but
head
she had
down.
it.
So you and Mark are the winners of the Eliminator 2025. It will definitely run again next year because it's been so popular. There's been some great hype about it, and it's just another interesting race, isn't it? We've got some really good like SUP 12,
Yeah.
you know, last paddle standing. We've just got some really good endurance, slightly quirky races going on, haven't we?
Definitely.
So it's got to happen again next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely be back next year. Like,
You have to. You're defending your title.
I'm gonna do it with Karen.
What?
I'm gonna do it with Karen.
Do it with Karen. She'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Her knee will be sorted. She'll be back on it. Good.
But whatever, we'll definitely be back.
Good. Well, and obviously we'd love to see you at Last Paddler Stand because we're going to be there. So we would love you to be there.
We will be there.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. It'd be great to see you back on that. Well, it'll be a different body of water actually, won't it? 'Cause
it's over
Lake June in winter.
next to Lake Placid.
Yeah. So it'll be good. Well done for the weekend, and sounds a great event. If you haven't heard about it, there is now a dedicated Facebook page, The Eliminator. So look it up, and there's some fabulous photos on there. I don't know whether you've looked at them. There's some really great photos. Yeah, they're really good. Bruce, thank you very much for your time. I know you're here for dinner and stay the night, but hey, we couldn't not have an interview with you, or a chat, not an interview. We just had a chat with our friend.
Chat.
It's really lovely to see you, and thank you so much, Bruce.
Thank you.
Thank you.